Leeds. Indeed, Theo. Indeed, we do. Right then, guys. Preview for Leeds v Millwall tomorrow night at the Den. Just been over on all the Leeds Bros channel with Darren and Dillo. Anyone who's on here who hasn't subscribed to them or even know they are, go check them out, please. Anyone that's just seen it, Danny, you're a legend. Obviously, you're here. You like the furniture. So yeah, smash a like, subscribe, like Danny says. But yeah, anyone who's just listened to that, be similar kind of conversation. But I know Danny, you'll love it regardless. You like me, you just like talking about Leeds, don't you? Evening, Noel, Matty Noel, Whelan Foster. I am good, and I hope you're good also. On his mum's account, hi Jack. All right, Dad. Hey up, son. Hope you're not going to bed too late. School at morning. Yeah, that's my son, that mate, on his mum's account. But yeah, so anyone who's just seen me over there will know my thoughts anyway, but I'm going to go on and touch on them anyway. Yeah, the Den, notoriously really difficult place to go. And I think that's what's freaking people out. I think more people are concerned about, the Leedsy tag, past experiences, Millwall away. You've seen it. I'm sure you've all seen Green Street. It's a hostile environment. It's one of them. But sometimes you just got to look beyond that. And football's not always played on paper, no. But 8, 9 times out of 10 it is, and we've got the biggest wage bill. We spent the most on players. Every metric you can sort of find in terms of quality, money, caliber of player, experience of player. For me, our team sort of ticks every box, and you should be going to teams like Milwall and winning. I'm a massive advocate of a draw away from home. It's a good draw as long as you win your own games. But we're probably not going to win all those own games, so we need to make sure we win some away games as well. So Sunderland and Norwich were fine for me as draws. Not fine. I mean, the Millier mistake will haunt me forever, as it will probably everyone. But certain games, you can forgive maybe poor performance. You can certainly forgive, dropping a couple of points away from home in certain games. But I don't want to get in the habit of just accepting a draw away at Millwall. Drawing away at Millwall and Bristol City back to back, even with wins either side of it, don't sit too well with me. Even though I think I fully expect us to stuff QPR at home, and 4 points from them to 7 out of the 9. It's another good return. It's promotion form without doubt. We're on a run of 8 games undefeated. I don't think we're going to lose many this season. I'm not deluded to think we'll go undefeated the rest of the season, but I don't think we'll lose many. But these draws are creeping in now a little bit, and we need to make sure we don't get too many of them for me. And I don't want to just become accepting of draws based on past, based on history, based on nostalgia of the Championship. And I sort of do get it. I watched a Millwall channel earlier, and they were talking about they've got a light show on before a game, which the hardcore Millwall fans aren't happy about. Apparently, with it being closest stadium as well to like central London, which I didn't know. Someone might correct me on that, but that's what he was saying anyway. They get quite a lot of day trippers now. Maybe can't afford the Premier League fixtures, so they go to the Den, and a lot of them diehard Millwall fans are liking the diluted atmosphere on certain games. Although he obviously said Leeds coming to town will be different. It'll be as hostile as ever. But I do think football's changing. I think the way we play football as well under Farker, we starve teams of possession. All their threats for me come from them obviously having the ball and getting corners and free kicks. We don't tend to give many free kicks away around the edge of our area because the teams we faced recently don't tend to have the ball in our half at their own feet. The only time ball's in our half is if it's our goalkeeper or our defenders that have it before they progress the ball. And obviously corners, you need to shoot, for deflections and keepers to tip it out for corners. And like I say, it's just not something that we're seeing as a pattern for Leeds at the minute. We're really tight at the back, and we're not gifting any shots. I mean, 3 shots on our goal in the last 4 games, and they all come against Watford. I feel like this is a game where, a bit like that Sheffield United game, although that were at home, with the Wilder and the, effect similar to that Neil Harris. You sort of look at teams, don't you, think, they could shit houses here, and that I'm getting vibes of that. A lot of people thought the Sheffield United game would be feisty, tasty affair. First game back after the international break, it's going to be a really difficult game. And I look at it and I just think Sheffield United have got good players to go along with that. So I sort of understood it. I don't get the Millwall worries. I really, really don't. Like, they've just got nothing. Like I said on the lads show there, you know, they've got Duncan Watmore as a winger. I don't, yeah, right, lads. I just don't fear them at all. And it is, you know, it's that lazy tag again, and you know, Millwall that they try. It's like the bullying playground, isn't it? Sorry for going off course here, but you know, they've got that tag of striking fear into the opposition team who come to then they try and make it hostile atmosphere. They want you to fear going there, but that's because they haven't got no else to back it up. Like, genuinely, they haven't got no else to back it up. So that's all they've got to go on. You know, Leeds United, we've got that hostile Ellen Road. We like to create a great atmosphere at Ellen Road, but we've also got the players to back it up. You know, many years we didn't have, and all we had was the atmosphere. You know, all we had was the atmosphere, and we loved that as fans. You know, when things were going bad for us, when we were in League One, and we were only having, you know, 15, 18, 20,000 at games, no top tier open. As fans, we galvanised together and we made sure, you know, it was still a great place. It was still a great place for lads to play football. The environment were too big for most of those players then, you know, because the average footballers we had back in those days, you know, couldn't have even imagined gracing a field as hollow as Ellen Road, and they had the opportunity. But we galvanised together and we made sure they always spoke about as fans if they couldn't speak about on pitch. And I think Millwall have got that, you know, the love. After watching this Millwall fan going to length today about, you know, they love that fans hate going there. They love that they're notoriously known for being, you know, being hard as nails and strike fear into you, because that's got, like I said, they've got no else. You know, they haven't got the team, and yeah, they're in seventh. I've just been looking at the results now. The last three they've won 1-0. You know, it looks like a great result at home to Burnley. Burnley are second bottom in chance creation. Scott Parker. It looks a great result, and it is 3 points off Burnley. We could manage it, but then after, you know, before that, 1-0 away at Swansea, 1-0 at home at Plymouth Argyle, 3-1-0 wins. Great for them. I think we're reading too much into it. I think we're reading way too much into it. I really do. Comments here, Dylan. Hey up, mate. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate the support. We've been doing well away recently. Well, we've been doing well, Jack, in terms of not getting beat. A lot of us draws have come away from home, so a lot of fans, me included, are happy with draws. Really, we want to be winning every game, as does everyone. But yeah, we don't look bad away from home. I'd say his home form's better than away, but like I always say, you get a point away from home, you know, you'll keep a lot of people happy. But I do feel like that's all right against, you know, the top half teams. I feel like Milwall are seventh now, so they are a top half team, but I don't think it's a position they'll hold for very long, to be honest. And I do think, you know, your Bristol Cities, your Millwalls away. These are games you need to be winning some of these. You can't just go along now getting a point every game away from home. So Danny says, Matty, are you going to say this if we get beat by them, that we have more better players sometimes? Not all players are 100%. No, obviously. Anything can happen, mate. You know, injuries, red cards, loss of form. But yeah, one sec. I've just got a game on here. Bristol City. I've got a penalty against Sheffield United. Sorry, guys. I don't normally do this. I try and be a lot more professional than this, but as my confidence is rising, I've just got to get in. Bristol City 1-0 up against Sheffield United, if you haven't seen. Get in. Buzzing with that. Yeah, they haven't kept a clean sheet this time, have you, Wildy, you wanker? But no, going back to your point, Danny, am I going to say if we get beat? Well, no, I'll be gutted if we get beat. But will I still stand by the fact our players are better? Yeah. Do we pay players more wages? Yep. Have we got more players on international duty as much as it pains us? Yeah. Do we want them to go away? No. But do we want international players at Leeds United? Yeah, of course we do, because it means we've got quality players on our books. And yeah, I'm not deluded to think, you know, on a game day, anything can happen. We saw that Burnley result, mate. Could I see us going to Millwall and get beat 1-0? 100%. But can I see us going to Millwall and getting outplayed? No. Can I see us going to Millwall and saying they played better than us over the 90? I can't. So for me, on that basis, you know, I love football and I enjoy watching it. I enjoyed playing it when I was younger. And usually, I know that it's not played on paper. No, it's not. But usually the better side wins. And I know you have these days where they don't. But I just believe we will win on this occasion. I do. Everything's pointing to the fact that we will win. as form, everything. A point away is not the end of the world. A lot of fans won't be happy with it. I won't be happy with a draw. I won't. A lot of people are saying I'd take a draw now. I wouldn't. I'd rather play a game and see what happens. But no, I would not. I would not bite your hand off for a draw now. I wouldn't. I think we need to go there, and I think we need to start really putting a marker down. I think you look at the league compared to last season. I think we were. Someone might correct me in chat now, but we were what 15, 14 points off Leicester at this point. 16 points off Leicester at this point. With 3 off Sunderland, and it's only Sunderland. You know, I just feel like a gap's coming, and it's going to start relatively soon. And I think teams like this now are just going to. I believe we're going to start just churning out victories, and we're just going to get on a roll, and it's not going to be pretty. We're not going to batter everyone 4 and 5s. Well, that done is 17 points, 17, and I think we were 10, 12 behind Ipswich as well at this point. It was scandalous. I'm not saying they will outplay us. I'm saying they are the team that will crap house. Yeah, I agree. They'll crap house a lot of people in this league. The war shit house us, pal. Crap house, shit house. I'm not getting monetized for a long time yet, so say what you want. But yeah, they'll crap house a lot of people in this league, Danny. They will. But the war. I just can't see a scenario on me where, you know, they go 1 up and we have the ball for as much as we do. You know, I'm expecting us to have 65, 70% of the ball tomorrow. And I just think we're going to create enough chances to score, and we are going to score. And we tend to score a goal. We don't tend to concede many, do we? So we're not a team that needs 3 or 4 like we did under Marcelo, the absolute god that he was. We're not. We need a 1 goal at the minute to win a game. 2 goals max, and 3 points is ours. And I'm just really confident about it. I know it's a matter of opinion in it, and I'll be honest with you, if you all thought the same as me, there'd be pointless even doing this, wouldn't it? So I'm happy with any thoughts, and I quite like the back and forth, to be fair. So anyone's got any takes that I don't agree with, I'm all ears. I hope you're all right, pal. No, I know, lads, and Darren, it's one of them where I am just massively confident. I am, but I am realistic too, and I don't think saying we can go to Milwall and win 2-0 ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? I don't. I'm not saying we're going to go there and put 6 past them at all. I said we'd put 4 against Plymouth and we put 3, and it should have been 9. So that wasn't a ridiculous take. I am realistic. I'm not an idiot in terms of, you know what I mean, what I sort of say. I come across a bit thoughtful in my opinion sometimes because I really believe it. And sometimes what is it to say? If you manifest something, you can manifest something into reality. So maybe that's what I'm trying to do. Really try to give it some day, and hopefully the stars will align tomorrow for us. But yeah, I believe what I believe, and like I say, it's not a ridiculous take that we can go there and win 2-0. We went there last year and won 3-0, and I think we're a better side this year. You might say they're a better side than this year, maybe, but I think we're a better side. Josh Isles, the brother-in-law. Hey up, Josh. Hope you're well, mate. Evening, Matt. Keep up the good work, bro. Thanks, mate. Appreciate you tuning in, mate. Really do. Don't want to swear as he was in chat. Fair enough, mate. Maybe I shouldn't. He ain't that young, to be fair. He don't mind. He's 15. He's all right. But yeah, cheers for that, Danny. You're a gent. More of a gent than me anyway, buddy. I appreciate it. Only Leeds bros. Next 5. Millwall, QPR, Swansea, Luton, Blackburn. How many points do you think we pick up? Right, Darren. So I think Millwall 3, QPR 3, Swansea 3. As a sound an idiot, because genuinely 15 points there for me, but I do think the Millwall's the one like Delo says, the Millwall's the one where you could drop points. Is Luton's at home, Blackburn away? I think Blackburn's away, is it? Yeah, it's because we're taking 7,000, aren't we? That could be a tricky one. You know, they're not having a bad season, but yeah, it's the perfect run of fixtures, that for me. Like, you look at that, and you know, you're not going to come out of that with any less than 12, are you, really? I would not imagine. Yeah, it is away. So, yeah, it's a decent run that way. We're going to put a really good run together, a point, so it's going to be a good return. I think by the end of that 5 points, mate, we're top of league and we're clear by a few as well, because I think Sunderland have got Job out for next 3, and they've got Chris Riggs out with. They were a bit worried with Chris Riggs at Sunderland that he had some sort of heart condition, I think, but I think it's just a really severe chest infection. So he was missing last game. I think he's out of this game as well. So we now got Chris Riggs and Joe Bellingham out of Sunderland. So I expect them to drop a few in the next, 2, 3 to 5 games. And looking at that run there, mate, after Millwall, let's put it this way: I think we'll beat QPR, Swansea, Luton, and Blackburn. So I'm going to go 15 points, but it could be 13 because we could draw away at Millwall 100%. But yeah, I expect us to win all them, mate, and Leeds will expect it, and everyone will expect it because when you look look at the game in isolation, we're better than all them teams. There's only a couple of games this season you look at what you like, your Sunderland, your Sheffield United, your Burnleys. You might look at them and go, yeah, tricky game. But those on paper there don't faze me at all, and they won't faze any of our lads. Joe Mayman is the most confident man on YouTube, but even he's wary of tomorrow. Yeah, he is, mate. He really is. He's very similar to me. He's Joe in his mentality and a lot of things. And yeah, like I say, mate, I'm not deluded into thinking it could be difficult tomorrow. I think last season we won 3-0 there. And I'm pretty sure last season, obviously I didn't have a YouTube channel then, but last season I remember thinking I'd take a point. That was last season because I knew last season if we don't turn up, if Somerville and Rutter don't turn up, there's a likelihood we won't get much out of the game. And I think that's fair. This season, I don't think we've got that problem. I feel like everybody contributes. And I feel like we could, if Nonto has a bad game, if Dan James isn't firing, I still think we've got enough to come out of there with a win. I do. So last season, with a 3-0 win there, I was buzzing with that, but I didn't expect it. I won't lie. This season, I expect more from this team now. I don't expect many games. We didn't dominate games last season like we do this season. We didn't dominate games like that. We had moments. Last season, it was like moments. We could have a 5, 6 out of 10 game, and then someone will come with a moment. Somerville down left turns in with his right, bends it in back far corner. This season, we don't need moments. We're a well-oiled machine this season. We've not even fully got going yet. When we're having the ball for 65, 70% of the game possession, how can any team expect to get much out of us? We don't lose possession. We don't give the ball away. We don't. We're a different animal this season. And that's why these teams don't worry me. Because how can they when they don't have football? They're 2 fucking balls on pitch. It's 1 ball on pitch. And we've got it for 70% of the game. Now, if they come out and they dominate possession and it's more 50-50, then fair enough. They've got to try and strangle control of that game somehow of Millwall, like any team playing Leeds. But Leeds are really good at keeping possession and keeping control. Whether we're winning, losing, we have that ball. Burnley, 1 chance, 1 goal, yeah. That ain't going to happen much this season. That ain't going to happen a lot. Millwall do not have the players tomorrow, and I might end up with egg on my face. Millwall do not have the talent to beat us tomorrow. This is a different animal this season, Leeds. So that's what I think on that. Like, I really do. Go back to here because we're Leeds. We have target on our back. Can't be going to Millwall, and I think it'll be a walk in the park. No, I agree, mate. It won't be a walk in the park. It won't. I don't think it'll be an easy game at all. Like I say, I normally tip 3 and 4s. I think 2-0. And I think Melier will have to have a good game to keep it a clean sheet. So, yeah. What's Danny say here? I'm taking my daughter to a home game this season. Last one she went to last season was Leicester at home game. Oh, mate. What a game that one was, Danny. What a game that one was. Oh, that'd be mint, that, mate. Yeah. I'll have to see you outside as well before you go in, mate. If you get to a game with her, that'd be mint. You'll have seen my vlog, won't you? I took my little lad Theo to his first league game against Plymouth, and honestly, one of the best days of my life. He loved it. You'll have seen footage, man. I was just in my element, you know what I mean? Smile on my face, beaming from here to here. Unbelievable, just seeing your kids have that love for your team. It sort of comes through you that you're the conduit that sort of like sent him that way down that path. Bless him. You don't know what he's in for yet, does he? He'll look 50 bit time. He's 16. Been a Leeds fan, but yeah, we love it, don't we? That's brilliant. Sunderland's next 5: Preston, Coventry, Millwall, West Brom, Sheffield United. Yeah, very tough run, mate. It's whether that I don't know what games are home and away there, but I don't really need to know. Very tough. I know Preston's away, so I assume Coventry will be at home. Yeah, very tough. There's no way they're getting 3, 6, 9. I don't see them getting more than 9 points out of that. And I think they might beat Preston, maybe. Coventry, yeah, they ain't getting more than 9 points there. So for me, we're going to get a 3 to 6 point buffer on them in next 5. 100%. So yeah, when you look at it like that, you know what I mean, Darren, it's only looking one way for me. Matty Millwall's last, I think they had 25 possession in the last 3. know something with it. Well, that's a possession they had, Danny. They only had 25% possession in the last 3 and they won 1-0. Is that what you're saying? And 1 possession. Good if you can just... Yeah, no, I know it is, mate. It's all right having out possession, innit? If you don't do not with it. Oh, Sheffield United just equalised. 5 minutes left. But yeah, it's all right having out ball if you can't do not with it. I agree. But we do something with it, don't we? How often is it when we don't score? You know, we can bring that Bristol City game up as much as we want. It's gone now. You're allowed an off day. I just don't see us having one tomorrow. Say my opinion, and you're always a lot more cautious, aren't you, Danny, with these things? And I respect it. I really do. You know, matter of opinion. And to be fair, you've been right a few times this season with your score predictions, so you can be on money from time to time as well. But I just think sometimes you've just got to enjoy build up to it, not be cocky, not be arrogant, but you know, put your neck on line and. That's it. We're going to do Leeds tomorrow, and that's how I'm sort of feeling. You know, if I look stupid tomorrow, I look stupid anyway, don't I? Like I say, I love the singing in that video. I say I'm a plank, aren't I? I'm an absolute plank. I just love Leeds, and I chat loads of crap for you guys and sing a song at end at final word, and sometimes I'm in my car. But I say if I look an idiot, don't I? It is what it is. I'll be more gutted that Leeds haven't won rather than thinking about what I look like, mate. Been a Leeds fan for 30 years. I've seen games like that hundreds of times. Yeah, of course you have, mate. I know. Yeah, we all have. Too many occasions, you know, on paper we should be wiping floor with teams and we struggle. But like I say, I do think Farke's second season, I do think a lot of these omens are going to go. You know, we got rid of a lot of omens last year. I feel like midweek games in London, I'd agree with every other year. I'd be worried, but I just start concerned now, mate. You know, that standard's not there. What's this? Anyone know what injury Ramazan has got? I did, but it slipped my mind. I hadn't thought about him for a few weeks. Someone in chat will remind us. But it went out for 6 weeks initially, so I assume he'll be back after the international break. He'll have missed 4 games. It might be back just after the international break. Is that right, lads? Danny, you'll probably be able to shed some light on that. On the Leeds Bros, Bellingham out of the next 3. Exactly. Bellingham's out for the next 3. Chris Riggs out for the next 1 at least. That would it wasn't ankle ligament. Yeah, of course it was. He rolled his ankle, didn't he? And they were hoping it wasn't ligament damage, but obviously it was. I just want to throw a bit of that's enough on game anyway. But I'm enjoying chatting tonight. I could talk all night, to be fair. One that might be a bit pointless to talk about because he ain't going to have any impact on tomorrow's game. But I'd like to get your comments in on Sam Byram. I've got a bit of a wild take on Sam Byram, me. I don't think it's wild, but I'll pump my chest again and say I believe it. So I'm sure everyone in this chat, you, Danny, all of these bros, Arjack, I'm pretty sure nobody here thinks he's played poorly in the last 2 games. And I know it's probably not going to have any effect on this game or any game going forward in terms of mass minutes if everyone's fit. But for me, Byram is an absolute wonderful free signing. What an absolute diamond of a man he is to having our club. You know, you've got to look at it, right? So cut all the crap out, all that facade in football, right? And you just look at it and you go, he gets Leeds. He come through our academy. He went off, you know, in the times he were at Leeds, it was awful. Chelina with it. He moves on. He gets injury, hampers his career, right? But you look at who we lost last year: Cooper, Dallas, Ayling, all that experience. Year before, even more. Like we've lost so much experience, right? Then you get someone like Byram, right? I don't know his wage. I know you can find it out on is it Capology or whatever. I'm not really bothered. I know it ain't gonna be much. He's happy to be a reserve player, backup player. His actual injury record's improved since he's come back to Leeds because he hasn't got that load on him. He fills in now and again. And let's be fair, he's backing up with two 90-minute performances there and looked brilliant over 2 different positions. I think when you consider like what he's got in his locker in terms of, you know, quality over 2 positions to a level, maybe not going forward, maybe not great on eye. He's dependable when fit. When he's on the pitch, he's dependable. You know what you're going to get from him. His experience in terms of, the games he's played, his age. He gets Leeds United. He won a free transfer. I just think he's got a lot of heat recently. And I think it's just because aesthetically he doesn't look great going forward. I actually think at right back, he looked brilliant. I wouldn't even be bothered if he never got injured. I'd have him at right back permanently for me. I think Byram's a quality player. I really, really rate Sam Byram, and I just wanted to touch on that and just be like, I don't really get why he's come up for a little bit of stick. For a backup, right back and left back, tell me someone who's got someone better in this league. And I honestly, I know his contract's up for renewal at the end of the season, like it was last year. But even if we go up in Prem, and this is the wild take, I've seen everybody, even Joe, I've seen all big boys on YouTube say, he ain't a Premier League player. If we stay in this division, he's fine in this division as backup. He ain't good enough for Premier League. I disagree. For the money he is on, for the fact he would take a 1-year rolling contract, for the fact that he was there last season, when we go up this season, he's helped us get up. He's been part of that squad. Even if he's just in background playing cards in Premier League, I think Sam Byram, when we go up this year, deserves another contract for another year. That is what I would deem a wild take, just based on everybody else's sort of take on Sam Byram. Do you think it's wild? If we were in the Premier League, would you have any qualms with him filling in for 5 games a year, coming on for the last 10 minutes to see a game out and we're winning? Even in Premier League? I don't have any problem with that at all. Might be a wild take to some, but I think it's I don't think it's wild at all. What a squad player. Yeah, he really is. Really is. Byram has shot me out the park, showed me he can make a difference, especially after so much. Yeah, exactly, mate. It really is. It shows so much for, as a squad player. He fills in when needed. And for me, he's someone who don't get spoke about enough. Yeah, granted, he doesn't play as many minutes now. He played quite a lot beginning of last season. He's not getting a look in this season when everyone's fit. But for what he does, in his role, I don't think there's anyone better. He was a very good last 2 games, like a Stuart Dallas. Yeah, it's easy to say that, isn't it, Darren? But you're right. Just like a Stuart Dallas, don't matter where you play him, he'll do a 7 out of 10. And yeah, if he's fit, he's an asset to this squad. He can play centre back as well. Yeah, to be fair, I didn't know he'd ever played there. I sort of know he could play anywhere. He could probably go in goal as well, mate, and he'd do an all right job. Yeah, I've seen that, Fergal. Best thing about Bristol scoring first was Sheffield United need 2 to bother us, didn't they? So even if they draw, it's 2 points drop for a minute. So I'm quite happy with that. Fair Punning's contract too. Yeah, of course he does, mate. That's going to be an interesting one, isn't it? Because I know his heart's in Betis as well. I know he really likes Real Betis, and they'll definitely be coming in for him, I think. But if we get promoted, he's got a song. Fans love him. I think he'll get Premier League another crack. It's like all in life, isn't it? When you don't feel like you've done something well in your life, you want another crack at it, prove you can do better than you did first time. I think that'll be in Firpo's head, me. He definitely didn't show what we're capable of in the Premier League, and you don't play for Barcelona. You're not on Barcelona's books if you're a poor footballer. So for me, when we go up, it's essential to keep him for me. It's just I know in January we can start talking to other clubs. We need to make sure we look like we do now in January. So there's no doubt in his head that we're going to go up, and that'll keep him at Leeds for me. And yeah, I think he's probably the first name on the team sheet. I quite like, even though he's a defensive player. I say defensive player, he's an attacking defender, but even though he's a left back, he's one of his main men now, and he's really took that mantle this season with Somerville and Rutter going. And for me, Firpo looks the man. He looks every part of the man, and what a player he is at this level. We'll find out when we go up if he can make that step up. But for me, if he can get form in this league, like Dan James, if he can hit form in this league over a consecutive amount of games, when you go up, yeah, it's harder. The qualities, you're up against defenders who are world class, obviously. But if you go up in form, if you go up full of confidence, if you go up with the attributes they've still got as players, why can't they do it in Premier League? We're not going to be winning Premier League, are we? Why can't they mix it? That bottom 8 in Premier League. Why can't they mix it? Why can't they go to Nottingham Forest and do well? Why can't they go away to Brentford and do well? Apart from that top 6-8 teams, why can't they go away to some of these teams, play them at Ellen Road and look as good as they do in this league? That bottom 6 at Premier League is no different to top 4 at Championship for me. So I think it's essential we give him a new deal. I do. Experience alone is needing the Prem and knows what it means to be Leeds. Yeah, of course. If we talk about Byram again, exactly, mate. I wouldn't want to go up to Premier League and lose more experienced players. That's for sure. And I think Byram, for what he costs, for me, you keep him. People look for an easy scapegoat when they think things look rocky. Yeah, of course I do, mate. We haven't had many rocky games recently, but for Leeds fans, a draw at the minute is as rocky as it gets. But it's really rocky for some people. It's really, really rocky. Actually, I'm surprised in what I read sometimes. We have, we draw a game 0-0 away at Bristol City, and it's Byram's fault. Very harsh. Very harsh. Instead of saying Byram played well, we didn't look threatening down that side. No, because there's a different player, Junior Firpo. You're not going to get the output that Firpo gives you, are you? So that's why he's an easy scapegoat. But for me, he's a fantastic asset to have in this club. And yeah, he knows what it is to be Leeds, which is vital. Vital. It's all right having all these fancy players and players from foreign players from abroad and stuff. And it's really nice to have someone who's come through a system at Leeds, gone away, the grass weren't greener, come back and gives it his all for shirt. We win 2-0 at Cardiff and it was Farker's fault. Literally comment at night, mate. Yeah. It really was, wasn't it? Like that honestly, I'll bring it up all season. That still blows my mind. How we can go away to Cardiff, win 2-0 and it still be still piss people off. Like it's unreal this season. I just feel like the down moments don't have to be that, like I say, a draw. You don't even have to. It's not like we're getting beat. A draw can be the end of the world for some Leeds fans this season. And we always go back to, oh no way, sorry, they've just scored again at Sheffield United in literally 97th minute. They've just scored. Oh, Burrows link. Oh my God, 2-1. They're going absolutely nuts. That's just totally lost my train of thinking. Not that I'm bothered about Sheffield United because I'm not looking down anyway. But yeah, it's a bit of a shit, that, isn't it? Bristol City had a red card as well, to be fair. Yeah, shite. Yeah. Cut Wilder. Wilder is a wanker. Wilder is a wanker. Yeah, with Fergie time it was. Just over 97 minutes, wasn't it? And the bang Latin. Poor defending that by Bristol City, though. Good finish by Burrows. I think we were linked with him, weren't we? Yeah, great finish, to be fair. Hard and low. Keeper's got no chance. But yeah, what else do I want to touch on? Yeah, so at midfield. So, Tanaka and Rothwell. Absolute Stonewallers for team of the season if they carry on at this pace. Stonewalls to start every game for me, regardless of who's fit. I just wonder if in certain games, we spoke about it over with Darren and Dylan earlier about if Ampadu were fit, even if he couldn't get back into him, this is the kind of game you'd potentially want someone with a bit of bite in there. I think Tanaka's got that, and I think Rothwell, they call him the Rottweiler as well. So I think Rothwell's got it in his game, but I don't know if it needs someone with a bit more steel in there. So I had a few good points earlier where they were talking about Guy Lavoie getting some minutes. I don't think he'll start though. And just to put it out there, in my opinion, it will be Rothwell and Tanaka, obviously. And I want them to play all season, if I'm honest. And I love Gruev and I love Ampadu, but I want them to start every game. Hopefully, remain fit. Heaven forbid they don't. But yeah, I feel like you just needed talking about. You look at that Guy Lavoie and he's a really strong specimen. Obviously I went to the game the other night and against Plymouth, and when he came on, unbelievable. I think he hadn't played a game in however many months. He looked so physically imposing, like really elegant as well. Where he carries ball, where he moves. He ain't clunky. He don't look clumsy. Sometimes you get players, don't you? A bit like Rutter when he first came, and because he's quite leggy. But he just looked totally in control of his body, which he should be at 34 with the amount of games and experience he's got. But, some people have mentioned, does he start with it being that sort of game? I don't think he does, but what an asset to have. I'm so happy for him that it's taken him only a matter of weeks to get into that starting lineup. No, sorry, to get into that squad, sorry. We've seen in previous years it takes a while for Farker to get you, let you in. player in that side. He wants to see, progression over weeks and weeks of training, and to think match fitness is obviously a worry when you get a free signing in October. But credit to him, we saw what we were talking about with Schmidt today in his press conference, mentioning, he's had niggles and stuff like that, but really reading between lines, I just don't think he's been showing enough in training to warrant a place. Maybe you can tell me otherwise, but I sort of read that through lines. But you look at someone like Gilavogi, and not only does he, does he talk well, he looks so happy to be here, which is massive. What's he been doing in training to already be getting minutes? Schmidt got overlooked for Chambers, for Charlie Crew, for Gilavogi in a game where they could have subbed me on in that game. So if you're Schmidt, you really are looking at that thinking, like, have I not got any minutes in that game? You got to think with Schmidt as well, he's had 10 minutes in total over 3 games. I think he got something like 7 minutes and a couple of minute and a half, really, really bad charity minutes towards back end of a game. But he's had 10 minutes in total, and they were games earlier on in the season when he weren't massively up to speed with tactics and with Farker wanting stuff. And now you look at it like, 2 months down the line, and he's getting nowhere near. So it's just credit to Gilavogi going off point there, but it's really credit to him that in such a short space of time he's coming to training, that ground running, and forced his way into Farker's thinking. I do think it's too early for him to be even looking at starting, and with the form of the players anyways, he's getting nowhere near. But I'm so happy for him that he got a decent chunk of time, 15 minutes at home at Plymouth to show what he was made of. And let's be fair, if there were a knock to anyone, if he had to come in, if 15 minutes to go, 20 minutes to go, he subs him on for a Rothwell or a Tanaka to try and steady that game up. Hopefully we're in front and he chooses to do that. We're not going to be phased. We know what we're getting out of him now, and we're really happy to have him on board for me. We'll touch on strikers again. Just something that he's talking about. I think Pido starts tomorrow. Everyone knows who's a regular here, massive Joseph fan. I took a bit of warming up, getting warmed up to Pido. I didn't really rate him much last season after really wanting him to do well early doors. It took me a while to get there, but I firmly believe now. I think once you strip back all that stuff you talk about with Joseph and look and go, Joseph's this, Joseph that, Pido isn't this and Pido isn't that. If you start looking at Pido's strengths as opposed to Pido's weaknesses, because a lot of Piro's weaknesses are Joseph's strengths, and a lot of Piro's strengths are Joseph's weaknesses. So, combined, they're the perfect footballer really for Leeds United. But I think a lot of time we look at what Joseph does really well, and we tend to dismiss, Pido can't do this, Pido can't do that. But what Pido can do is put away them big chances when they come, and they don't come around very often in football, do they? If we're playing well, like Plymouth, we can have plenty of chances. But like a lot of people have said in chat, and a lot of people are thinking tomorrow night, we won't have as many. And I can go along with that idea. I think we'll have a really good performance, and we'll have a fair few chances, to be honest. But I can go away with that logic. I'm no idiot in that sense. Like, it could definitely be a tricky game. So that's why I would probably prefer Pido to start, because if he gets one chance, he's probably going to put it away more than Joseph is, and that irks me to say that, because what I don't want is Joseph just coming on them for the last 10, 15, 20 minutes. I think he's better than that, and I really wanted Joseph to start a lot more games last season, and a lot of people say he wasn't ready, and that's fine. I can go along with that idea as well. I disagree. I'd say there were certain games, he could have done more than what we had with certain other players in there. But this season, it's like he's lost his shirt now, Joseph. And I don't want it to stretch on too long. I really want Joseph to get back in there, but I can't argue with Pido starting at a minute. He don't. We always gone about. He looks lazy, or he don't run around too. I sort of disagree. He just don't run around as much as Joseph. I don't think he's lazy at all. I don't. Yeah, he's not quick. He's not as mobile. He's not. But against Plymouth, I thought he was fairly mobile. I do. I don't think he's touched his best. I don't think he'll hold ball up that. But he likes to be in the box. How many times have we had it with Bamford years ago, when he'd be all over, be running back, and then when it comes to final moment, when you need that clarity, when you need that chance to you bury that chance, you've done all that work elsewhere, and you can't put away the fundamentals, which is scoring a goal. Pirro is in the box, and Leeds will get the ball into the box a hell of a lot with the talent he's got around him. he will get the ball into the box a lot. So yeah, I do think it works better with Joseph starting and Pinot coming on. But I think for now, Pinot's got to keep his spot. A goal or an assist every 81 minutes. It's scandalous, really. You know, we talk about a player here that if he plays enough minutes, he could be top scorer in league. And there'll be still a proportion of people saying playing well, which, yeah, it's crazy. But you know, he can't. Last season was the same. He didn't play great. He didn't look great on the eye, but he still got many goals. And he still got a hell of a lot of goals for the games he played in. And yeah, I expect him to get more goals this season than he did last season. And I reckon he'll be our top scorer this season, Pinot. I'm pretty sure everyone agrees with that. Pinot, for the age of 24, he looks a lot older and could be down to the Amsterdam's finest. Yeah, it could be, mate. Yeah, it could be. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. I think it was Joe Wayman who told me he was 24. I actually couldn't believe it. I thought he was at least 3 years old. I thought he was late 20s, 27, 28 maybe. But yeah, so I think we'll win tomorrow, 2-0. I think we're going to have the Lions' share of possession at the Den. I think the team's going to be Milwall, Firpo, Strauch, Rodon, Bogle. I'd love Biden to play again, but it's not going to happen. Obviously, Bogle's been class, but yeah, I just can't harp on enough about how much stick Byram's got, and I think he's done really well. But yeah, Bogle at right back, and then it's going to be Rothwell and Tanaka, Aronson in 10, Pinot up top. I reckon he might start Solomon in this. Just got a feeling, and not because Dan James isn't playing well. Dan James is one of my favourite players. I would have Dan James on that pitch every week. Honestly, I love Dan James. Love him. I've just got a feeling. Are you putting a lot on Dan James starting all these games when he's just come back from injury? And alongside that, you're not getting the best at the minute out of Willie Nonto, which I'm shocked about. I don't know what you guys think, but I genuinely thought, especially in Premier League season, Willie Nonto played up left and, one of his best players. And I thought that was his best position, but he's had to play on right because of Somerville and, obviously Ramazani this season as well. He's found himself up right, which I think he struggled with last season. And like this season now, it's like he's played a couple of games on left now, and he doesn't look the same player. He doesn't look the same player. He's not playing bad. Don't get me wrong, he's not playing bad. Maybe he's getting outshone by others, but for me, he looks better on right. So maybe when you look at that, Dan James played a lot. He's played a lot of minutes to say he's just come back from injury. Nonto's not playing the best on left. Is it, a scandalous thing to say that he might move on Nonto to right and start with Solomon? Because like I say, if Solomon can't start now when Ramazani's out, when is he going to start? I know a lot of people talking about going back in January. I don't agree with it. Yeah, you're right, Mark. He is on 4 yellows. To be fair, it won't be a bad game for him to pick one up this game. I don't think we're having QPR at home on Saturday. A game I'm going to and I'm looking forward to. I wouldn't mind him getting a yellow and missing that one, to be fair. Because like I say, if he's missing, you could as long as everyone stays fit, you can start Solomon and James out on wings, can't you? But say that fifth yellow's coming. It is coming. They all are, like I say, Firpo. He had it, didn't he? Obviously Bogle, and then obviously Nonto. They've all sort of gone through him. I think Rodon's on 4 as well. You said, yeah, you have that, and your Rodon guaranteed yellow tomorrow. Spent, yeah, possibly. And then he's got a decision to make, and I think Voba's close to fitness. Gilavogi, DeBayo, but he'll be down the list now. But yeah, it's one of them, mate. It's going to happen in season. I'm just sort of glad it's all sort of happened. Now everyone's sort of got them, but they haven't all had them on the same game, but they've all got them in the same cluster of games with like Firpo and Bogle. That worked out brilliantly, really, back-to-back games, rather than both missing, because what would we done if they'd both been out for the same game? Would you have had to play Schmidt, or, would you put Kyle Darlow at right back or something, because he don't fancy Schmidt? But yeah, it's going to come, mate. The Nonto yellow's coming at some point, as is the Rodon one. So like I say, hopefully just don't come on the same game, but any game coming up for me, they're all winnable games. But yeah, I don't think there's much else to touch on, really. Do we all think Aronson stays in the 10? Do we think is a mainstay in there now? Does everyone agree that Aronson's performing to a level that he deserves that 10 role, throughout the rest of the season? Because for me, only going back a few weeks, and I think he started really well, Aronson. Only going back a few weeks, I looked at that, that front four, and obviously you've got the Pirro, Joseph debacle, whatever you think. I don't think you can go wrong with that. But the three behind him, when everyone's fit, if everyone's ever fit at the same time, which is a big if, I always saw it as Ramazani, Nonto, and obviously Aronson. When you look at Nonto and Ramazani, when they're on form, I always thought, well, you've got Solomon, Dan James, someone's got to drop out. I always sort of thought Aronson would be that one. Out of the three, you look at it, think he went away last year. He's come back with his tail between his legs. He'll probably be happy to sit on bench. He probably expected to be on bench, probably more than he has been. To be fair, you could have had him on bench even up till now. He wouldn't have been able to say no, would he? He'd have had to still keep his head down and dig hard. But I think he stays, mate, for the season. I think he's doing brilliant. Aronson has played well. A few games he's not been 8 out of 10. Honestly, I feel like you get some players, I say it a lot, when they don't score. Pirro being an example. If Pirro don't score, he tends to have an iffy game. Very rare does he have an absolute worlding. You say, wow, what a game Pirro had, if he hasn't scored, especially. I know he scores some games and people say he don't do much, but with Aronson, I feel like if he don't score or assist, which is what you want from your 10, you still come off saying potential man at match if it weren't for Tanaka and Rothwell, who's been man at match pretty much every game since they came in. Aronson's in there. He's in conversations, in top 4 or 5 players every single game. Every single game. If he ain't scoring and assisting, which is what you want from your 10, he's running around. He puts a shift in that they're in a blade of grass he don't cover, and for me, he's getting more G&A than probably what I thought he'd do. To be honest, I think he got 1 goal and 1 assist in all Premier League campaign. What's he got now? 3 goals, 2 or 3 goals, couple of assists. He's doing all right. I think his numbers, I expect him to get in between 10 and 15 G&A, which, for the 10 in will beating, no. But in a side like us where I expect whoever's on left, whoever's on right to get something similar. You're looking at a position here where, left wing, 10, right wing, striker, they're all getting in between, 10, 15, 10 to 20 G&A. It accumulates way beyond what we got last year. We're going to score more goals this year for me. It's good. You might just not have one star man getting them, as we know from last year. Mark Edison, only criticism I have of Brendan is he tries too hard, needs to chill a bit, and I think he will score more goals, tends to snatch chances. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I watch him, when I get to games at Ellen Road, I watch them warming up and they do a lot of, coaches just lay it off to them and they're just hitting it. Usually the sub goalkeeper, so Darlow will just be in net. And his actual shooting's actually really poor, Mark. Just the way he strikes the ball, he tends to hit it over wide or straight keeper. He isn't that good, shooting, a bit like Georgie last year. He isn't an actual finisher. It's something he's going to have to really work hard on to improve. I think it just don't come natural to him. I think what comes natural to him is the way he moves with the ball, his dribbling, the way he drops a shoulder, the way he feints, and he ain't the strongest, but the strongest part of his game for me is the pressing off the ball, and when he's got the ball at his feet, he's really silky with it. He's really good at progressing the ball up the field, and I think his passing's all right. Not world beating, but I think it's all right. I think his link up plays quite well. But yeah, I think he's shooting. I think it's something. It's always going to be there. I just don't think he strikes a ball that clean. We used to say that about Dan James. To be fair, he's definitely improved with that. But you must agree. You genuinely don't see anyone really pushing him out of that side unless he gets injured. Just when you looked at that front line and looked at all that talent, and you think, how's he going to get everybody in? Because Solomon's the one for me that I think if it clicks or when it clicks, I think he starts, and then what happens? Ramazani, Nonto, Aronson, James, it's mad. But like I say, I had paid that money. Farker's got the best job in football for me. There ain't no job better than Leeds United, and it's up to him to make it work somehow. But it just gives us an embarrassment of riches on bench, doesn't it? And it's just fun. I get so excited about my club, and the passion I've got for this club is just unreal. And thinking about them being full strength at bench, having the, those players I've just spoke about on it, honestly, it's mint. I love it. Like Harrison, he's really pushing himself to prove he deserves it, even when he's tired. Yeah, no, he does, mate. He don't stop. Jesse Marsh beasted him when we were in Premier League. Absolutely beasted him because he knows what he does run for days. And, I do feel like at some point he might need to come out because it's a long season. And with the options we have, full strength, you can always rotate and switch that attacking line around. But if he's fit and his hands up to play and he's not looking leggy, he's looking good, he will run all day for you. There's no questioning this guy's commitment. Some people will question the ability of the guy, but at this level, there's no question for me. The question on him is the step up to Premier League. But like I say, I firmly believe you go with a wind in your sails, confident, but high on confidence. That bounce you have, I think he'll do better. I think all these players that failed at Premier League, I think they'll all do better in Premier League next time. I really do. Although I would say Aronson's probably not a starter in Premier League, but again, like we touched on Byron, he'd be a great squad player with Aronson. At this level, he's great. He really is. A little ankle biter, that is Aronson. Yeah, he is, mate. Could you imagine playing against Aronson? He just won't leave you alone. He just irritates life out. You can see him. He just don't stop. Love Aronson. He's brilliant. As Mark said, tries to add. Yeah, he does. A lot of players do. And like Mark says, it might affect his finishing. It might do, but I think there's enough goals coming, from everywhere on pitch, enough assists coming from everywhere on pitch that we can afford for him to do a lot of other work, off the balls where he really earns his money for me. Like he just don't stop that pressing. He initiates that press. He's just a nightmare to play against. Obviously, I've never played against him, but I'm glad I haven't. Low centre of gravity here. Only Leeds Bros, smash the likes, yeah. And if anyone's in here for the first time, please subscribe. I got up to 250 subscribers. I think I got 255 when I looked earlier. Not that I'm too fixated on numbers. I'm really not. I just enjoy doing this. But obviously, as the numbers increase, it shows that you're doing something right. It shows that people like what you're doing. They see a clip and, I'll subscribe. If the numbers aren't going up, maybe it's time to stop doing it. But yeah, I love it. So yeah, like I said, I'm not too hyped up on numbers. It is what it is. I'm just a guy who loves my club like everybody else. But yeah, it's nice to see it going up. I won't lie. So I really appreciate getting to 255. I never thought I'd get anyone to be bothered. I thought it'd last about a week and I'd quit doing it. So it's brilliant. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. Like I said before, if I was playing against him, I'd have booted him up in the air more than once. You would, Danny, 100%. Mark Anderson. Leeds fans put a lot of pressure on Brendan. Fans need to start backing him, singing American Boy again. Let him know he was a distraction. Yeah, to be fair, that's a great point, that Mark. I haven't heard that yet this season. Maybe you can correct me. I've gone to every home game, bar the whole game. I don't think I've heard him sing it. Maybe they have on away games. I'm not too sure. But yeah, that'd be a nice one for him, wouldn't it? For me, that redemption arc was almost done in that first 90 minutes against Portsmouth. If he'd got that second goal, Roof would have come off. But it hadn't taken him long, has it? I think by end of that Sheffield Wednesday game, when he got that goal there, it sort of won everyone round. And I was there, that friendly. I went to friendlies pre-season. Went to Valencia game. I'll be honest with you, I am massive on, giving me player stick and that. But I had a little boo when him and Vobo came on, like half of fans did. And when you pay your money, you're entitled to do and say what you please. And I wanted him to know I wasn't happy, but I've never booed him since. And all I've done is back him, like I will anyone that pulls on a Leeds shirt. Even Patrick Bamford, if he ever pulls on a Leeds shirt. Daniel, Liverpool have beaten Leverkusen 4-0 tonight. Good for them. Have Leverkusen fallen off the face of earth this year? Where are they in league, Danny? They only keep tabs on stuff when it interests me. And last season, I kept tabs on them because obviously they were a good story. I know what's jumped out this season, so I've not really been asked. On Leeds, there's no reason to stop. But no, I'm just saying if before I met you guys and stuff, and even Danny in chat before, making friendships as well, it's buzzing. But maybe if I'd start, when I started after a week or two, if I'd have only had 10 subscribers and they were family and friends, and maybe I wasn't getting views and stuff, I may have stopped, just because I don't want to make myself look an idiot. Like I say, I do make myself look an idiot talking about, it's funny. I don't mind. I've had my dark moments in life, mate, and the way I'm now, trying not to take life too seriously, I feel on top of the world. So long may it continue. But yeah, like I say, if it weren't working, I wouldn't just be on here for being on here sake, you know what I mean? But clearly it is, and I'm loving it. This last month's been crazy good. So, like I say, I'm on now. I couldn't waffle on about Milwall. I thought I'd be on 10, 15 minutes. I'm still talking now, close to an hour. And be fair, I don't even want to go off. It's a strange one, really. I'm just really enjoying just chatting about football. It saves me bleeding our lasses' ears. Man City hammered. Really? Like I said, honestly, I really don't keep tabs on much outside Leeds. I'm so focused on Leeds, I really don't give a shit about all. So Man City got hammered. Who were they playing? I know it's Champions League, obviously, but I didn't even know who they were playing, to be honest. That's what I was thinking they were flying last season. Yeah, like I say, I tend to follow stories. Yeah, cheers, Mark. I much appreciate that, but I really is appreciated, mate. Great comment. Some great comments coming in there, mate, as well. Like I say, I tended to, when I first started doing this YouTube scene, I tended to just do pre-records. So I'd do a preview, I'd speak for 15, 20 minutes, and I'd just upload it. And I'm really enjoying doing lives now, because obviously it's hard. You know what I noticed, Mark, when you're doing pre-records, even though you can delete it if you don't like the video. You can delete it, redo it, delete it, redo it. It's so much harder, you know, doing a pre-record, and no one else is even there. No one has to see it. It's so hard just relaying information. So you look at some stats, even though I aren't really into stats and tactics and that, I'm just a normal fan. And you know, you'll hear by my tongue, I'm not the smartest guys. I'm just a normal guy. I would just love talking about football, but it's one of them where getting over the nerves to talk live when you know there's people watching, you know, they're not massive numbers, but I really appreciate having 10, 15, 20 coming. I love it. I love it that you know, even value my opinion even a little bit to stay and watch. But like, you know, people in comments like Danny and all the Leeds bros who've sort of seen me from, you know, the start 5 weeks ago, you know, they can see a confidence in me growing now. It's like you try and, you know, be really sort of strict in what you say and formal, and you want to deliver it. And then I realised, you know, maybe a couple of weeks ago, it's not really me, you know. And then we've been going on the final pint. We've got a show on with all the Leeds bros, and it's a lot more relaxed. We have a beer, we talk about the game, and that's what I am. You know, I found myself those first few weeks trying to look into data and stats, and you get all that anyway. You know, I ain't the only person who you watch on YouTube. You know, I'm last person you watch on YouTube. You get all your mainstays from your Joes, your Connors, you know, your Lockies, KJ, everywhere else. Why don't I just be myself? And if you want to come along for a ride, then fair enough. You know, you're going to get all the nuts and bolts from everybody else. I don't need to do that as well. Do I look at Joe? Joe gets there with news, and it's all just to the point. You don't really need that from someone like me either, do you? So I'm just going to be myself. I've sort of let my head on a bit. End at final pint, I usually do a sing song as well. Like, I don't mind singing a little bit, so I'll make myself look a bit of an idiot on here. But yeah, I'm just really enjoying just coming on and talking. So I really appreciate that, Mark. It's really nice to, you know, have someone doing comments, really giving me some praise. So I really appreciate that. As Danny said, Matt, you and all the Leeds bros are the new up and coming Leeds content creators. You both done great work, especially. Hey, Danny, honestly, mate, you know, sometimes when someone's always there, like your family or whatever, sometimes you take people for granted, don't you? Just know this, Danny, yeah, hand on heart, I don't ever take you for granted. You're always in chat for me and all the Leeds bros, and I really appreciate it. You know, I might not say it every time, but I'll always get your comments up, but I really appreciate you always being there and supporting us. You know, it's massive. So I don't take you for granted one bit. I love it, mate. Thank you so much. Danny, love that, buddy. You've helped us out massively. Yeah, of course he has, mate. You know, I come live and I'm going to have no one watching, and then Danny will pop up before I've even started a live. You know, he's already wrote like and subscribe and comment on chat, and it's massive. You know, it's a genuine top guy, is Danny. And I tell you what, Danny, you said you're going to bring your show back in New Year. I can't wait, mate. Can't wait for it. Get your show back, and you know, we can do something together as well, can't we? And we're looking forward to it, because you've always got great input, and I love that. You know what I mean? I love that I get you in comments, and we don't always agree, Danny. We don't always agree. I don't think you take it for granted. If I didn't, I wouldn't be on. No, that's what I mean, though. But you know, when someone's always there, you know, you can take things for granted in life, can't you? Because they're always there. What I'm saying is, I don't take you for granted at all. Like, I love that you're always on here. I love that you're always, you know, so praiseful in all we do. Even when I don't feel like it's going well, you're always there, always bigging me up, always in my corner. So yeah, as long as you don't feel like I ever take you for granted, like, you know, I don't want to have to big you up every time you're on. You know what I mean? You get a bit too big headed, but no, like, just wanted to let you know today, mate. I really appreciate it. I know Darren and Dylan do. You're an absolute legend. Mark Ellison, I just want to talk about being a Leeds fan, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah, we've had it all, haven't we, mate? But like I say, this season, I think there's a lot more good than bad and ugly. And some fans just need to remember that, you know, a draw is not the end of the world when we've had these draws. Because honestly, I'll come back to it again. That Cardiff 2-0, I just can't get that out of my head. Whenever I think about it, I just cannot get it out of my head that we won 2-0 away at Cardiff and people weren't happy. So yeah, we just need a reality check sometimes that it's never as bad as it seems. You know, sometimes in just general life, you have something happen and you can't see wood for trees sometimes, and you get cloudy judgment. And that's why I'm a massive advocate of mental health. You just need to speak out and talk. And like I say, it's something I'm passionate about as well. So I'm gonna have to get in touch with Danny at some point as well, because I need to book him in for doing episode 2 of my ups and downs. I think, don't I, Danny? We'll sort that out maybe in an international break, mate, over the next couple of weeks. But yeah, just wrap up his last few comments before we call it a day. Danny was my first ever person alive. Won't ever forget that. You legend. My head's already big enough. Stop the prayers. I'm getting a headache. Yeah, man. Right. Well, anyway, I'm waffling on now for waffling on sake, so I'll wrap it up there. With it being a midweek game tomorrow, I'll probably do a live tomorrow, talk about game, do a bit of a review. Depending what other people are doing, I'll have to see. Depends what Joe's doing. Depends what all the Leeds bros are doing. I don't want to clash with anybody. So I'll see. But obviously, Final Pint will be back on Thursday night anyway, which I can't wait for. We had 2 shows on a time. It'll either be 8 or 9. We'll confirm that at some point through the day. But yeah, stick a like on this video, please. Comment and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Let's keep pushing and trying to get to 300 in the next few weeks. Mark Edison, good night, fella. Catch up soon. Be safe and healthy. Yeah, you too, buddy. Take care, Mark. Take care, Danny. Take care, son. Love you, Jack. All the Leeds bros. Everybody else that's been in chat tonight, much appreciated. 3 points tomorrow. 2-0. You heard it here first. Utter dominance from start to finish. Milwall are going to do shit. Billy Mitchell, Duncan Watmore are doing nothing. This is not going to be getting clipped up. Good night. God bless. Thanks for tuning in. Take care, guys.